Given the recent increase in pump prices, I can understand why some members have asked to reduce or suspend fuel duties or to provide road tax rebates. But doing so effectively amounts to a subsidy on private transport and will have counterproductive effects. Let me explain. Fewer than 4 in 10 households in Singapore own cars, and amongst the lowest quintile, only about 1 in 10 do. 4 in 10 is the overall, but if you look at the lowest quintile, bottom 20% of households by income, only 1 in 10 own cars. Such subsidies on private transport would therefore benefit a relatively small but generally better off group. Cutting fuel duties also means that some of the subsidies will flow back in part to producers and suppliers themselves, not just to consumers, as the pump price may not fall as much as the reduction in duty. More importantly, such subsidies will reduce the incentive to switch to more energy-efficient modes of transport, which is a critical element in our plans for sustainable living. I recognize that there are several groups like taxi and private hire car drivers and delivery drivers who are affected by the increases in petrol and diesel prices. Various taxi and private hire car operators have implemented temporary increases in fares to help cushion the higher fuel prices for drivers and to have consumers share the burden. They also have tie-ups with petrol companies to offer fuel at discounted prices to help drivers and riders manage higher fuel costs. And as I mentioned earlier, those whose incomes are impacted and are in need of financial assistance can approach the SSOs, the CCs, or the self-help groups for more help. Overall, the better way to help Singaporeans cope with the rise in petrol prices, as with inflation in general, is to provide them with the support measures that we have catered for in the budget. Through these measures, we are extending concrete, tangible help directly to Singaporeans to cope with their different areas of need, including their utility bills, children's education, and daily essentials, and we are providing more targeted help for the lower income groups. Sir, I have outlined some specific actions we will be taking to help Singaporeans cope with higher prices. We will continue to monitor the external situation and the risks for our economy closely, risk both in terms of growth and inflation. And where inflation is concerned, we are monitoring this closely, not just the headline figure, but also the impact of inflation on different income groups, and even the issue of shrinkflation, which Ms. Hertingru asked about. As the government has assured this House previously, if the situation worsens, we will not hesitate to take further actions to protect jobs and to help households and businesses deal with the increased cost.